Actually, a restaurant has to do 5 things. You have to have good food, you have to good service, you have to have a good atmosphere, you have to be value for money. And this is a new one, but you gotta have like this brand identity that people could relate to. In the end of the day, people go to a restaurant, not just for food, but just to feel joy. And I think if the team can unlock that through good service, through good food, through good beverages, through good atmosphere, just having an overall good time, I think that's the definition of good service.
Now actually started as a pantry product. That was back in 2022, and we had envisioned it to be in retail channels, like let's say supermarkets, grocery stores. But we realized coming off from the pandemic, because that was when everything was opening up, people are actually looking for more experiences again, not just products. So that was a big inspiration for us. That's what prompted us to really start Now as a restaurant.
So we started with Kurimu, and the whole philosophy behind Kurimu is to make unique flavors that you can't find anywhere else in the market. With that philosophy or mindset, we started experimenting with fermentation because I wanted to start a fermentation line with ice cream, but it just blossomed into a whole-born concept, which is Now. So we decided to make fermentation the anchor of our concept.
And fermentation was actually a technique that was heavily used in a lot of fine dining settings. And so what we wanted to do differently with Now was to really democratize that, to make it available for anyone who really wants to try and understand what that could mean within the local setting. That's why we named it Now. It's slow food served now.
Hi guys, it's 2 hours before service and this is my tour of Now. As you can see, we have the dining area. So we're setting up the plates. Chairs are still magulo from like meetings and stuff like that. So we have an open kitchen, so it's easy for the FOH to communicate with the kitchen. Special requests from guests, or if they want to give compliments to the chef. This goes with our Now Spot PH award. Our Michelin is outside. But right behind that, towards the kitchen, is our ferment shelf that any guest can start looking at. And you can also kind of see the different stages of different ferments. During service, actually, you can kind of see some of our kitchen team getting stuff from the shelf. So it's very like, oh, they actually use these ferments pala in the food during service.
So this first floor, initially, it was 3 years back, it was still a bit too big to be our office. So Brian and I had decided to make this like a test kitchen. We initially planned for Now to just be like a pop-up here for 6 months. The market really responded well to this whole concept of fermentation being democratized and being more accessible. So from envisioning Now to be just a canteen, it became this reservation, date place, which we're very happy about. Creating all concepts, it's also nice to keep in mind that it can evolve and you can just allow it to just be what it wants to be, and the market will always somehow dictate. So your plans will change.
I think for us as a team, we have learned that ideas are a big part of the recipe. It's a really important ingredient. The lovely thing behind our concept is we can actually make anything under the sun, but with the backbone of us supporting local producers. We have a rule that as much as possible, source everything from the palengke here in Mandaluyong, because that's our way to support our local community as well.
Punong-puno ah. This stall that we normally buy our produce. There's the eggplants that we use normally. So she's Ate Nini. She's the daughter of Ate Cynthia, the owner. Oh, she's also the one who helps us procure this stuff. So every day we get our eggplants from them. Probably we're consuming around like 30 kilos of eggplant from them. Actually medyo weird siya before. Like parang I was asking, meron ba kayong malaking talong? Ganyan. Bakit yun yung gusto nyo? Kasi yun yung requirement. Ganyan. Kasi the reason why we choose like medyo malaking size, kasi when you cook it sa grill, it shrinks down. It becomes small. So i-trim mo pa yung skin. So parang pag maliit, parang wala na matitira. So that's why we choose this. Like the stuff that we ferment, we use like cabbage for our sauerkraut, sayote for our mochi arepa. So it's one of the fun things about fermentation is that you get to discover new flavors with fermentation through age. That's why it's now. It takes a long time to ferment, but you get it now.
So here is the kitchen. The kitchen is one of the busiest places during service, but at the same time, it's also one of the most hanged out spots for everyone here. Everyone's just doing their own thing. So we have our bar. We have our sauté station over there. We have like our pastas. We have our oha, which Howard is making right now. This is the sauté station. This is the sauté station. Oh, we make the risotto. We make the sakarat also. And then for the grill is where we make our best sellers. So we have the steak, we have the torta, we have the arepa. Those are personally my top 3 favorites. And then we also have our charcoal grill. So charcoal grill, we have like our smoked iberico, we have our smoked pulpo. For the fryer, we have our koji marinated fried chicken. For the guests, it's approachable, but it's also at the same time something unique that you can try if you're not that adventurous. So during service, aside from all the cooking stations, we kind of have 3 stations naman for plating. So we have the cold station, we have the main plating station, I would say, and then we have the hot station. So the cold station, we have like the crudo, we have our pastries, we have the kinilaw for brunch. Main plating station is where everything gets kind of busy, kind of messy, and it's also where you can see if the team is working really well together. Yeah, that's basically the entire kitchen, that we try to make it as cohesive as possible. Because in the kitchen, I'd say is, every spot matters. If you put something here, there has to be a reason why it's there. An hour naman into service is usually where we do our final cleanups, and then we'll have our pre-briefing service, just to kind of see who the guests are, how many guests we have. Do we have any allergies? Do we have any special occasions? So it's very important for service as well, and it's also a way for kitchen to communicate with FOH and vice versa, to see if there's anything that we can do to make the guests feel more comfortable, or anything that requires special attention. And it's also a way for us to kind of hype up each other, say na, okay guys, today's like pretty busy, pero let's just all work together, just communicate, everything like that. So we'll just get ready for service, and thanks for listening.
One quick. Okay guys, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday. Occasions too, bale birthdays. Okay. Alright. Okay. Kung wala nang iba, let's start the week right. Have a great service.
Basically, the whole experience, and if we're in service, get to meet a lot of interesting people. You get to share something that you really like, which is food. Then you get to talk about it with other people that you haven't met. That's like really something that we look forward to every day. Is that we get to work with food and get to share them with the people that really enjoys it, and really do it with the people that you work well with.
What makes Now different is the relationship we have with each other. We all enjoy what we do. If you enjoy what you're doing, you enjoy who you're working with, you get to unlock the best service, you get to unlock your best cooking.
The culinary world, it is dominated by this Escoffier style, brigade, military style management. And it's very top-down. But we wanted to approach Now as in a very egalitarian way, wherein everyone can pitch in their ideas. You own up to your ideas, you also own up to your mistakes.
Chicken, one torta, one chicken, ready, one risotto. For our dynamics in the kitchens, all of us are like fresh graduates. At the same time, all of us are like in the same age bracket. We had this mindset that we are all starting together, and we need to really have this sense of like magtulungan tayo. So naging ganyan yung sistema namin sa kusina. We were given like a leadership role. But at the same time, we had this feeling of we need to involve them also. So we let them feel also yung bigat ng trabaho, not just only for us.
Most of us are fresh grad. All of us are in the same boat. So everything we experience for the first time is everyone's first time. Like, if we made a mistake, we're all in this. Like, we had really bad services in the beginning. Especially when Now suddenly boomed. We had like full house. We were so understaffed. Like, it was just so crazy. But at the end of the day, no one was blaming each other.
As we grew and started to figure out like what it was that we really need, we eventually had more people in FOH, more line cooks were applying, and I guess they were attracted to this kind of young, playful culture that was happening here in the restaurant.
Having these relationships with everyone here, I really enjoyed looking at that growth. Every day we started getting better and better. And we're not really doing it for awards, but being recognized with that Michelin award a couple of months ago was really sweet. I can't really put into a box what Now is. On paper, we're known for fermentation. That's the backbone of the whole menu, but I feel like it's more.
Something that, let's say, we enjoyed eating with like our families, having good memories with our families by eating this certain ingredient, ganyan. Aside from like the memories that it holds with the people that we were eating it with, parang we also subconsciously connected with the food that we're eating. The bigger picture or the bigger influence that we can have on our guests na when they eat at Now, they can hopefully have like a great experience, not just with the food, but also with the company that they're with.
I always think it's going to evolve. I mean, we're very happy with what we've achieved as a team. Definitely because it's beyond what we initially wanted. But more than, I think, the accolades, what we're building here internally as a team, the culture that we're building, and how we can just birth more ideas. So why stop here?